Hello everybody, welcome back to another War Thunder video, and today we're looking at the brand new update TUSK Force and some of the main things that have come with it. So primarily we're looking at some of the vehicles, maybe some of the maps and that sort of thing. And what better place to start with than the T-58, an awesome heavy tank that has been highly requested. And it's a chonky boy. Unfortunately, for those that don't want to pay, this is a premium vehicle. So yeah, bad luck to everyone else, I guess. But hey, could this have fit into the tech tree? Maybe. I mean, if we look at the tech tree, I mean, it's on the chassis of the M103. You probably could have folded it with the M103, but who knows? The point is, it's here, and holy moly, this thing is scary. I mean, I don't know how effective it will be in an actual game, but you have a 155mm gun, which I think is the biggest heavy tank gun in the whole game. So I guess the record would have been previously held by the KV-2. And you've beaten the KV-2 by 3mm with a 155mm auto-loading cannon of death. It is a scary gun, and look at the penetration. I mean, you get heat rounds to play with, which are pretty deadly. I'd probably recommend using those the most. 406mm of penetration. You get HESH rounds with 203. I mean, there's not really point in taking both of these. You also get APHE, which are hilarious in the sense that they get 640 grams of TNT per shell, which is insane, but the penetration's kind of crap for 8.3, so I'd probably just recommend sticking to the heat rounds. It's a pretty funny tank, and I think it's America's heaviest heavy tank, actually. Yes, it's heavier than the M103 by close to 4 tons, which is kind of crazy. What's the armor like? Well, the hull is the same as an M103. In the past, all these oscillating turret vehicles have pretty bad turret armor, especially around the cheeks. But I want to see if I can compare it to just like a regular armor-piercing round from something. Let's go with a T-29, which is carrying its APHE shell, which I think is this one, maybe. It's actually somewhat resilient, to be honest. Obviously, there are going to be weak spots. For some reason, it says the equivalent... That's got to be a bug. It says equivalent protection against specified ammo, 5mm. Apparently, this bit here is 5mm thick. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. But honestly, as far as armor goes, it's pretty resilient, which is kind of crazy. Unfortunately, though, this is at 8.3, which makes it, I think, joint highest... Well, other than event vehicle, is joint highest heavy tank battle rating in the game, along with the T-10M. And if you want to compare it to a T-10M, well, let's just find out. Where is it? T-10. Where is the T-10? Is that rank 6, really? Where is it? There you are, T-10M. So with its APHE round, it's actually surprisingly resilient. But because this is 8.3, people are going to be firing Sabo. And wow, it's actually fairly resilient to Sabo. This thing might be kind of beastly. I mean, it's got some weak spots, but obviously against heat rounds like this, okay, I take it back. This thing's actually pretty tough. Alright. Obviously, though, you want to know about the gun. People weren't expecting this thing to have good armor, but apparently it actually does. And look at this fat-ass turret. This is one chonky boy. I mean, look at this thing. Amazingly, this thing has a scary, an actual historical intricate clip reload, because the other American heavy tanks, their reload for the autoloader has actually been nerfed for some reason, probably for balancing reasons. Again, War Thunder breaking their historical rule, but this one does have its historical reload, because get a load of this. Yep, it has a reload less than 3 seconds, and yes, you're firing a 155mm gun. And it hits pretty damn hard, as I'm sure you can see. It is going to be a scary vehicle, and look at the ballistics. The turret reverses really fast, actually, which is quite surprising. And then, obviously, you have to reload the autoloader, so you get 7 shots per clip, I guess you could say, before you then have quite a hefty reload. But holy moly, this thing is going to be scary if you can get it into a good position. Obviously, oscillating turret means no stabilizer, so have fun with that in 8.3. My experience at 8.3 without stabilizers is not that enjoyable, but it is a worthy addition to the game. As for other vehicles for the US, well, tanks-wise, they get the M55, I won't lie, this is a controversial addition. Do I want it in the game? Yes. Has it come in the game at the right time? No. Not if you ask me, anyways. Basically, as I'm sure you will be aware, there seems to be a bit of an issue with balancing, and War Thunder seems to love adding their SPGs at the moment. It started really, I mean, it started slightly before, but really kind of became apparent with the addition of the M109, which, you know, it's an American SPG used by other nations, and okay, sure. If we're playing another game, then that SPG would just come to America. But War Thunder decided to add it to some 5 nations at the same time. And they were everywhere, and they're so damn annoying. Then they did the same with the M44, which is a smaller, earlier package. And then they did it again with the M55. That's right, this is coming to multiple nations. And why the hell is this thing 4.0? If you want to be specific, compare it to the M44. The M44 has the same top speed, but it's also got a way smaller gun, 155mm compared to a 203mm cannon. This might be the biggest tank gun in the game. Obviously, the Sturm Tiger is more of a rocket launcher, so biggest tank gun might actually fall on this now, which is kind of scary. I don't know why it's at 4.0 though. Genuinely, you could move this vehicle up to around here or higher, and it wouldn't make a difference. Why is this at 4.0? I think that's pretty poor, and it's going to absolutely ruin matchmaking at the 4.0 level. Anyways, we have another addition, the Stingray Light Tank, another highly requested vehicle, speedy, ratty vehicle, 105mm cannon, no armor whatsoever, but it is very, very fast. Interesting stuff. As for helicopters, we have a new Apache. I didn't actually know this was added, the AH-64E, which I think is the most advanced variant to date. In real life, that is. At least it's the one that the British still use, so I assume that it's the same for the Americans. For aviation, because this is what I'm really interested in, we only get one plane, but thank God is it finally something interesting. Say hello to the B-66 Destroyer. Hopefully, the start of a new trend where War Thunder actually adds cool planes from the 1950s once and for all, specifically jet bombers. This is the first really true jet bomber we've had in quite a while. A lot of people say the last one was the Yak-28B, but the Yak-28B is a converted interceptor. This is a dedicated jet bomber, and it's very refreshing to see. Unfortunately, though, it's probably not going to be very good because it's a jet bomber, and bombers are not balanced very well at all in this game. And it is at 9.0, which is... Oh, no, it's at 8.7. Or is it at 9.0? Let me just quickly switch over to air real quick. It is at 9.0, so have fun with that. It does have a pretty hefty payload, not bad at all, and it actually gets a defensive gun. Let me tell you when I say, I'm not joking when I say this is probably the most exciting addition to this update. Absolutely awesome to see, and yes, I will be grinding it. Yes, we're going to have some customs. I want to roleplay a giant base of these things. Only B-66s, maybe some other jet bombers. It's really cool to see. It also gets rocket-assisted takeoff if you spawn on the ground, which I think this thing might end up doing. And it's got a pretty funky model. 3 crew. They've also added some avionics stuff to the X-Ray, which is interesting. Hopefully, it's fun, and more importantly, hopefully it spells the way for more jet bombers like this to come. B-45, B-47, the same for other nations. I am probably going to skip over naval because we don't cover naval on the channel. But moving on to Germany, sorry naval fans, there is stuff there, but it means nothing to me. Germany actually gets a new plane, a Bf-109 finally, a Bf-109 T2. Now, I won't lie, this is not that different to other Bf-109 variants. To my knowledge, it's a naval version for, well, Germany's fairly lackluster naval air unit. And it's quite nice to see. I mean, it's another World War II plane. What more could you want? It's what players have been asking for. And amazingly, players are as excited about this as they would have been, assuming the skin's going to load. There you go. Players have been as hyped for this arriving, believe it or not, as they have been for, well, just a modern top-tier jet. So there's equal interest in both of those areas. Also, I believe this has longer wings than the regular 109. So there you go. Probably to help with lift on the carriers. Cool stuff. Nice to see. Only 1,000 gold. It is a premium. Fair enough. I mean, do we need another E variant? It's basically a 109E. It's only 1,000 gold. I think it's a decent purchase. And finally something cool, original, and from World War II. That is, I believe, their only plane, however. So you better love it. Helicopters, nothing. And tanks, they should get something. Yes, they get an M55 as well. Again... why this is just going to ruin immersion and matchmaking. Matchmaking, because these things are going to be everywhere and they're going to be able to kill anything. Obviously, they don't have armor of themselves, but it's still annoying to see. And yeah, this is a tank from, what, the 60s, the 70s? Fighting alongside World War II vehicles. Once again, it ruins your immersion, but whatever. I believe that's actually it for Germany. Wow, Germany kind of lucked out this this update, but oh well. Moving on to the Russians. The Russians get a new BMD. Again, highly requested. Doesn't mean a whole lot to me because I don't play this tier, but the BMDs are a series of Russian tanks which haven't really been represented that much in-game, and, well, now that's finally changing. There are a couple in-game already, like this one and this one, but now we're finally getting a tech tree one, so hooray for that. And they're also getting this thing, some goofy trucks. So yes, more very tall anti-air vehicles. Yeah, that's right, you control both of these. Kind of goofy looking. This is kind of scary if you ask me. I don't want to play top tier air or ground because of vehicles like this. But hey, if you were worried about CAS at top tier, then there you go. Also, apparently it says it has 0 degrees a second as its turret rotation speed. Interesting. Moving on to the aircraft. Oh, they have a new helicopter, the Mi-35P. Fair enough. Looks ugly as all hell, but whatever. Moving on to the aircraft, we're sort of speeding through these. Do they have no new planes for Russia? Wow. Okay, that's a bit disappointing, but okay, fine. No new planes for Russia. But Great Britain, my other main nation, what do we have to get excited about here? I believe there is actually some excitement to look forward to, and yes, there is. Whoa, finally, some big folders, and yay, look at this. Look at this. New mosquitoes. Could you believe it? In this day and age. Now, I don't really know why it's a higher battle rating than this. Well, at least I don't know why it comes after. This is the Night Fighter Mark II, and it comes with... Okay, well, I guess it doesn't carry bombs, I'm guessing. No, it doesn't. It's a pure dedicated fighter version of the Mosquito, and it does look pretty snazzy. It does look pretty snazzy. Obviously, you get a radar, which isn't modeled, so I don't really see what the point of this is, but fair enough. It's another World War II plane. What more could you want? I don't know why they haven't modeled the radar, though. Surely that is the unique feature of this plane. And you get an even nicer looking bicolor camouflage. Ooh, that is clean as all hell. Very nice to see. And there is another one. There's the TR Mark 33. Interesting. Ooh, it's a naval one. A naval mosquito. I didn't even know the Navy used mosquitoes. And what is different about this one? Well, it just gets the Hispanos. No 30 cals. Does this get a radar modeled? It does actually have its radar modeled. And it can carry a torpedo. So it's a torpedo reconnaissance aircraft. Interesting. That's a pretty cool addition. I won't lie. I'm pretty happy with this War Thunder. I like this. It's also got 4 blades. This is awesome. This is actually a really cool plane. I like it. It's got a funny little nose. It's got 4 blades, a carry torpedo, and it's naval. Hell yes. Very nice addition to the game. Obviously, this is another thing that, unless I assume Germany didn't get these as well, more Hornets for the UK. So now they're joining the Hornet Club with some Australian Hornets, because the Australians love their Hornets. They are, I believe, still the Australians' main fighter aircraft in service at the moment. So fair enough, and Australia being pretty close to the UK, at least historically, not geographically, makes sense that the UK tech tree gets some Hornets so they can have some more competitive top tiers. And they get 2 variants for the Australians and a premium for the Canadians, who also use the Hornet as their main vehicle. Some people were annoyed that the Canadian one is being the premium, but, well, deal with it, I guess. So there's a whole bunch of camos, which I'm not going to look through all of them, but it's nice to see. A lot of people are happy. I don't know if this is any better than the other premium Hornets in the game, but here it is. And, yeah. And there you are, very snazzy camos indeed. Moving on, no new helicopters, not even the AH-64E for Britain, but oh well. We also get the Ram Mark 1 for another Canadian vehicle. It's basically the Ram Mark 2, exactly the same, but you get a fairly crappy 2-pounder gun. But at 3.0, the armor on this thing should be pretty damn scary. Actually, compare this to the Sentinel, the AC-1. I feel like the Ram Mark II is going to be the better choice, even though, well, the Sentinel is actually a premium event vehicle, so most people don't have it. But compared to the Ram, the Sentinel is just way worse armored. They both have pretty poor guns for 3.0, but the Ram has pretty scary armor for 3.0, so you win some, you lose some. It's a nice addition to see in the game. And if you don't like it, we can always buy the premium Ram too. Britain also gets a, well, another anti-air system. Again, it's another group sort of platoon style vehicle where you get a bunch of things with some very, very tall stuff. Yeah, comically tall vehicles at this point. It's kind of weird looking. But, yeah, you control both of them. And another reason to not play top tier aircraft in ground battles, because these things will absolutely ruin your day. I believe Britain doesn't get an M55. No, it doesn't look like it. We do have an M44 though. Moving on to Japan, who also doesn't get an M55. They do get an oh yeah, this was the other thing. They get Thai ground vehicles, and to the surprise of absolutely nobody, they are almost all copy-paste vehicles like this M163, which is it's an M163. What more do you want me to say? They have another M60, which is there, so good luck trying to, well, they're all the same really. There's nothing we haven't seen before. They do actually get one of the new Stingrays, which is interesting. And they do actually get a unique vehicle of their own, the BM Oplot T, which, like many vehicles, is based on Russian designs, but hey, I guess this is a new vehicle. A unique vehicle, should I say. I think that's it for Japan's ground forces. They also get a Indonesian, if my country knowledge flags isn't, I think that's the Indonesian flag. But they get a Hind. Hind for the Japanese tech tree. Interesting. And onto aviation, we have another F5 Tiger. So, yeah, the Super Tigris, whatever that means. Interesting. How super is it? Well, the speed is exactly the same. The rate of climb is exactly the same. The turn time is exactly the same. So, once again, all the super stuff is internal, and you won't be able to tell the difference. Fun times. Anyways, that is it for Japan. Again, nothing really Japanese once again, but oh well. Moving on to China, we have this thing, which I found quite funny. This is a version of the Soviet B-6 flying boat, but it's a turboprop, and I believe it's the first turboprop bomber in the game. And wow, this is funky looking. It's really long, actually. I don't know if this is longer than the B-6. It just looks longer. I think this is a cool addition. Very nice. I for once, China's getting something interesting. So I think this is nice. Welcome addition to the game, if you ask me. How does it compare to the Soviet B-6? Well, if we just look at its top speed, 327. Unless I'm mistaken and the B-6 has the same engines, that is also... Okay, it's a lot faster. They're just at the same battle rating for some reason. Okay. For Chinese tanks, they get an M55 as well, because of course they do. And they get the VT4, a new Chinese medium tank. And it looks like all the others. Massive lower plate as well. Actually, it looks kind of weird from the side, but fair enough. Moving on, we have some helicopters, not for China though, or Italy. Any Italian planes to look at? No. 0 Italian planes. Oof, that is not good. I imagine something will come here in the future though. As for their tanks, they get an M55 once again. Yeah, starting to see a trend here. And they get a, well, another cluster of lorries, which we're not going to go into. France. France gets an M55 for Belgium. And they get another cluster of lorries. God, top tier areas, or top tier ground aircraft is going to be absolutely hell with all these things running around. And for aircraft themselves, they get the, well, a squadron vehicle Belgian F-16. I don't know what is different about the others compared to this, but it's another F-16. Hooray for that. As for Sweden, they do get Mosquitoes as well, being represented by Norway. And your eyes do not deceive you. This is actually a Norwegian aircraft. It's just at the time where Norway kind of flew for the RAF, so they get their own version. I don't know why this wasn't just a skin for the RAF one, the actual British one, because that's usually what would have happened in the past. But here you are, Mosquito. That's a carbon copy. They also get the FB Mark 6 again. This one actually in its own Norwegian colours, so probably post-war. And finally, a third Mosquito. It is a Mark 6A, or Mark 6 Ash, which is similar to the naval one in the sense that it has a little radar in the nose. Kind of cute, kind of cool. Does it have 6 blades? Sorry, 4 blades on each propeller? No, it doesn't. And it gets the usual Mosquito shenanigans. So, nice to see, nice to see. I'm thoroughly going to be grinding out these Mosquitoes. And for tanks, they get a new CV-90, which is like a lot of the other CV-90s. Finally, for Israel, they get 0 new tanks, 0 new helicopters, and 1 new plane. Another F-16, which is an F-16 covered in little bits and kind of weird looking, to be honest. It's very... It's almost like it has a handle, actually. It's very blocky. Very kind of funky looking. Are these extra fuel tanks or something? It's just covered in fuel, apparently. Wow, that is quite a lot of fuel. But now we've checked out the majority of the new vehicles. How about we check out some of the new maps? So, welcome to the new version of Poland. This is probably going to be the only map I am going to showcase because I kind of want you guys to experience some of these for yourselves. And I do have a rather busy schedule later today, making a video for Friday, which I'm sure you will love. But Poland being one of my favourite maps in the game anyway, it's interesting to see what it's going to be like now. And obviously the layout of the map is more or less the same, but it has been given a fresh coat of paint because Poland is one of the older maps in the game. And at least with regards to tanks, and while it has had some like minor changes to like weather effects, puddles, water, and so on, it is nice to see it looking so clean. And I won't lie, I was a bit worried at first when they said they're remaking Poland, because in the past they have remade maps and it just tanks my frame rate at least a lot more than it did before. And this one really isn't too bad. I'm comfortably getting 70 FPS on max graphics, and it looks pretty damn nice indeed. There's a lot more tall buildings, as you can see. I'm not sure how much this will change gameplay. It might make some players be more sneaky. And I was going to say, have they got rid of the Katyusha lorries? They have, but they have replaced them with other lorries. And it looks like they actually have things in the back of them. Groceries, a whole lot of apples, apparently. That's quite a lot of apples. They haven't done a great job with stacking them, as you can see, but... well, now they have no apples in their lorries, but what can you do? There are, of course, several other effects coming into this update. It's not just about new vehicles and new maps, but I'm not going to go into full detail, as I said. I was mostly just showcasing some of the main things. There have been some sound alterations, some visual effect alterations, like with rockets and missiles. That's the smoke on those has been improved. But yeah, I think there's even a little bazaar with more apples. Apparently this town is just thriving with apples. Very nice to see. But anywho, that is Poland, and that is update TUSK 4. Still not entirely sure why it's called TUSK 4, so if anyone can point that one out, do tell. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you all enjoy the update. Go and have fun on the new update yourselves. After, of course, hitting the like button on this video. That would be you know, nice to see. Big video coming on Friday. Hopefully, if it's done in time, I am going to do a full review of my custom tech tree because a lot of people keep asking to see it. It's going to be a very, very long video, so hopefully you guys enjoy it. And don't forget, we should have a live stream on Saturday as well. Hope you all enjoyed this. If you did, hit the like button, comment down below what your favorite thing in this update is, and subscribe for more. Check out other videos on the channel, hit the bell to stay notified, and of course, I'll catch you all in the next one.